Hello there. It's back. It is back. Uh, check this out. Notice how my profile's gotten all weird? Watch this. Can't run this program. Blah 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 /0, not enough memory. But let's see how. Control. Same thing. If I can run the little applets, sound there, PPL, my list. There, CP. I know I have a thing that prints them out. All the options. Usage. Yes, nothing. Okay. No matter. Couldn't we just have it? Oh, look at that. It's a problem with quotes. I should use my new trick to get rid of them. I fixed, oh I see, I fixed 2 and I didn't fix the last one. See, there's a problem if, no. Usage / question mark / L. List. Region language, what about, I don't know. I'm looking for, device manager, what's that called? Devices and printers. Oh, we wouldn't load that one. We loaded the sound one. How about work folder? Oh. Did it run something? No, it didn't give an error. Mobility. Oh, the thing that matches? Oh god. I was way ahead of myself back in those days. Oh yeah. Now, this is something that I've never seen before. I mean, I have seen it, but I've never seen it come up from a control tab. User account. Not enough memory. It seems like anything important is, you can't get a taskbar. Didn't give a crash. Anyway, the point is this thing I have suspended at the moment. All that stuff would work if I would let go of this. I'm pretty sure anyway. Now, you see this says virtualized. This one says virtualized too. Now, I don't know exactly what they mean by virtualized. Everything's virtual in Windows. But maybe this is like more virtual. Extra special, super virtual. Virtual. Environment. Oh yes. See this here? Now I think the things that aren't virtualized aren't having their trace file cbvt bin. away. BV, no, there is no such directory. But that's where the trace file is going. Oh, no, this one's got it too. Tests, install package, CSI log file. Okay, well maybe I chose something, let's see, it's something that's not involved. Okay, this one doesn't have a Windows tracing file. I love this one. Not virtualized. I managed to get one going. Not virtualized. No tracing file. See what I'm saying? What about this? This one has it. But see, I think maybe after this, everything else after that is virtual. So not virtual necessarily, but building towards setting up this virtual environment. Oh, look, audio DG came back. Well, how come I can't hear anything? Probably because there's not enough memory. That's funny, I thought that made a sound. You see in the registry, this is what I found previously. I guess I expected this would come up soon enough. It's CSI test or something. Yeah, CSI test. I don't know if this is a joke. But why is this called test? All these registry keys, okay? A whole bunch. I deleted them all. It took forever. Because I had to delete also each one of these things has a class ID and it has an interface, it has a type lib, and you got to track all of them down and delete them. One of the reasons why I want to fix this bloody editor. Now, my guess was that the reason it's called CSI test is that whoever wrote this thing probably just took for COM, because COM's too complicated for anyone anyhow. Probably just took some test program, right, and modified it so that they could make a COM thing. And that's probably why it's got this name, CSI test. Now, what could CSI stand for? I don't know. But it's tied in, and the reason I located this is because that BT, first online, somebody was talking about similar things that I was experiencing a while back. And I had already run into this BVTV bin or whatever it is. What is that? Just looking at it. BVT bin, okay. Tests, install pack, tracing file. Now, this here, DLL host, is an auto start. The reason I've got this suspended was because I wanted to have a look at it. It pops up and then disappears. It pops up and disappears. Right? So I suspended it so that I could have a look at it before it disappeared. As well, I wanted to run things and not have them end up having this virtualized. Maybe it's normal for things to be virtualized always, but I don't remember seeing it. And anyway, I'll do a rollback to a system restore point and check. And if this is, see, there. Oh, I started that. Mobility center. Okay. Yeah, if this is normal behavior, I guess I won't upload any videos. So if you're watching this now, then this is abnormal behavior. things don't suddenly become virtualized and have weirdo directories that don't exist listed in their environments. I don't know if the hotkeys work. Oh, yeah, they work. Yellow host properties. That works. I didn't get my environment. Now, is that virtualized? Yes. Virtualized. Probably because I ran this thing. It's in my history here. I ran it from here with the same parameter. This process, which is not, you don't find this string anywhere in the registry, virtualized or not, if this is some internally known. Like my 2 tray, right, uses that. If I do, let's see now, what's not running as administrator? Notepad. Virtualized or not? Virtual. Anyway, 2 tray node. Alright. Now if you look at the command line here, see that? This 2 tray program, the way it works is in order to give the command line back to the person that ran the program, it runs another instance of itself and quits. So then you get the command line back. But I need to pass this note on to the next instance. So the next instance gets let's see now. This here is just a UUID. I could have put curlies and made it look like the other type of thing. Oh, and here, all this is an HWINT value in decimal. Okay, that's the window, the handle to window to heart. So it locates an HWINT hive and then called itself with a special flag. If you search through the registry and you won't find it. And so I assume that this is a similar thing. However, DLL host is not, that's something that comes with the system. So how does DLL host know? Well, yeah, how does DLL host know what to run? I ran it, and it probably died. I can run it again. It's this one. I tried this, which is what, oh, it's gone now. It comes out of the auto start thing, and that the A one is the one that's suspended currently. Okay, now I just ran it. Here, virtualized. Well, it's not doing anything. It's not going, it's certainly not going up here. Now this here is the encoder, right? It's hopefully recording this video. I hope it is. Well, it says 0, so that's good. It wouldn't report a size until I quit. Why don't I quit this in case I'm wasting my time? See if this is working. Yeah, it's definitely working. I'm encoding the video now. Look at this though. Video converter, which I launched from here, virtualized, launches command, not virtualized, which launches M encoder not virtualized. That's one way to get to a non-virtualized program. Run command and then have command run the command you want to run, and you won't be running underneath in a virtualized environment where probably some things are not visible, I would guess. Like this regedit is not virtualized. It's not virtualized. It's here, and that is being run under NT authority system. It turns out, if I ran it from here, I'm sure I'll probably see those. I know I'll see them because I was able to see them. Oh look, I got a sound. How about that? The sounds are working alright, just not for me. Oh, just brought me to this one. Well, I can always run it again. Now, reg edit, not virtualized yet. No, it's not virtualized. The VLL host, that was one of the things that I captured. Still not saying virtualized. Anyway. Now, why am I on user? Oh yeah, different users. So, the other one is no username. CSI test. Here it is. It's all still there. Okay. Advanced installer. Everything from here until the end of the CSI tests is of questionable validity. You know, offline store, noon definitions, identity authority wrapper, right? File wrapper, definition identity, CSI store, inventory, pending. Oh, now here, this is how it came up, right? I was looking for pending. Let's check this stuff out. This is frightening a little bit, so be prepared. Now, do I have to search for that? Probably. Alright, well, let's try this one. It didn't load up my environment. CSI pending component change. Again, need a decent editor. I mean, you can't go backward. Okay, now go back. It's not going to find anything. This I test, you know, child one. That's funny. I know it. Oh, did it find it? It did. Oh my God. All right. Install package. CSI test DLL. That's obviously a fake. Programmable. Oh God. So I gotta try this one. That's here. Partner. Now, is that pointing to itself? No, 9 2. It's really horrible. Oh, that one too. I'm past the 9. Ah, oh no. Oh. See, that's the thing. My keyboard just stopped working. That's what got me suspicious. Uh, 7 7. Maybe 9 is gone. Whoops. Maybe 9 is used over and over. See, what I was finding was pending changes to various files and very specific changes like offset such and so bytes, 6 to 13 to be changed to these bytes. But only, okay, now this is a generic copy. I gotta go to type lib. I don't know where the parameter is. Primitive change create directory wrapper. Okay, so this changes a directory creation, but they all use the same type lib. Where are the type libs? Classes root has a type libs, doesn't it? Here. Okay. Fine. Let's just CSI test DLL. Helper flag. So that this DLL would contain the type information. If it is totally useless. See now the sum of the pending changes. Change CD. Primitive change. Transaction. Pending transaction. Cold patch. There's a hot patch and a cold patch. I presume a hot patch is while something's running and a cold is while something's not. Now here there's an enumerator. Which is that. And this is for deployment. This is a whole system here for basically like updates. But this is not Windows Update. I'm pretty sure. They wouldn't call it test, right? Okay, now. Store reference identity. Alright. If you look around and fiddle with this CSI test class, check your registry, see if you got it, and keep following through those Fruto numbers, and you'll find some great stuff. The one that I was interested in here is this COM/sys app. That's in local machine system control set services This app. Now, so here's our local system that has no authority at all. Required privilege. Assign primary token, audit privilege, change notify, create global privilege. Yeah. Local system can't really do very much. Increase quota, impersonate, blah blah blah. So that's the typical privilege that's given to one of these tasks. Image path. Now this is again this here one that I've got suspended doesn't have the same process ID. So I presume that this is just a filler. This is whatever you put, whatever your thing is in here, perhaps. Maybe that's how they allocate, pre-allocate the buffer to put the UID in, maybe. Failure actions. Now, the reason this came up at all was because I couldn't. I tried to reboot because the system had hung, and it hung because I was disabling more things, and it couldn't start up. It rebooted, and the only way to get back on was to run the startup fixer utility, which undid all of my work, but luckily left a trace. So to redo, to refix. They fixed this, and now I gotta refix it. But I started refixing this, and the system hung yet again. Every second one has a thing. Now, this WUD F host was coming up all the time. I kept killing it. Remember, it wasn't there at all after I reinstalled the operating system. But now, suddenly, it's the most important thing in the world. It's got to be running. So I removed its, just now, I removed its, whatever you call it, its security information, or made it inaccessible to any entity. And this is the most recent one that I removed. This is a 16-bit DLL. Why do I need a 16-bit WinSock DLL in my system? I thought. Well, I think it's necessary in order to do this remote. To log on to my machine, but not as me, as a fake virtualized me, which once I get online can be transmitted to whoever's watching. See, these ones, everything was running fine with these all on. Right. Oh, this one too I turned off. Now that might have been the one that causes the hang. In fact, I should stop this because it seems to be working. Okay, back again, and the microphone's still working. Now, I got curious, and I found this when I was logged on as a different user. But I know that I was working on this unit test here. It's something to add to my registry editor. I wanted to have, I don't know if this is built. I wanted to have like a properties. Oh yeah, that should be done. And one of the properties of a registry key is the last write time. Okay. So when I write properties and bring up a dialog, something like this unit test, we just work on it separately. Now I added a parameter. It's not a unit test now, it's a tool. I was just working on the dialogue, but I also have this printout before the dialogue, and that's what I was curious about, this last write time. Now this says July 14th, 2009. Well, I would expect that if it says that, then that would mean that it hasn't been modified. That this is actually came with the installation. Okay, but now what about this? Bluetooth modem, serial communications driver. Whoops. It's easier to run it on the command line, actually. That one says a different date. Okay, that one's 2010. It's a year later, so that still could be possibly part of the thing. But now, okay, Bowser, not browser, Bowser. That was just written on the 12th, which is today, okay, at 2 a.m. It's now 4. Last write time. It doesn't tell you when it was created. It sucks, but I imagine that that was also when it, well, I don't know. Now there is a thing also called browser. Now, Bowser has a display name. Let's see how I want to put all these things. Browser support driver. That's it. That's what Bowser is. What about browser? That's computer browser. What was the other one? Browser support. So it's support, and now this one was just made. How about browser? That's part of the operating. Yeah, this is part of the operating system, and Bowser is something else. Now, what about BRSERID? Well, browser ID, I imagine. Or OS, it looks like. Looks like, you never know. Browser WMV serial driver. Why would WMV serial driver? I don't know. This is by Brothersoft, isn't it? USB MDM must be modem. Also seems to have been there initially. How about bus port, Bluetooth port? Seems right, but it's got sub keys. How about this? We first type it in. We'll just check parameters. Also, looks like, well, that one anyway, came initially. Try this one. That's weird. I don't see why I would have had that. But, you can always modify these things. Birth serve. This would be RPC SS, and so that's okay. Sunday, yesterday, that at 7 a.m. that value was closed. So that's right away. It's almost. That must have been as soon as I logged on to the internet when I made that video. I'm not online now, obviously. So boys are fast, in reestablishing things. CLR optimization. That's a thing that I installed. That was part of an update package. Okay, well that makes sense. It's part of an update package. But I didn't install a Bluetooth support service device, which has requires privileges, impersonate, create global, well, everything. Create a privilege, right, is God privilege. You can create a global privilege, then that grants you all privileges. Image path, booth services, booth services with an S. Where is that? Booth serve S. Oh, there's no E. SVCF. Booth. I don't see it. No. No. I lost it. Bluetooth. You see why Bluetooth has always been a pain in the ass for me because of this sort of thing. Because I don't know what it is exactly. I know it has to do with networking and typically wireless, I think, because a friend of mine quote unquote has Bluetooth, and so he can sort of talk. He can talk to people he's, I guess, on the phone with, even though he's not in physical contact with any telephone or computer or anything, because he's got Bluetooth. And it's a little thing that clips on your ear, and you can't see it. I don't know how could this thing work. Okay, it might not be listed there, right? It's not a service. It's just a deal. Where's ID? Okay. Well, that is a service definition. Oh, because I disabled Bluetooth. I didn't remove it. The Bluetooth service supports directory and association of remote Bluetooth devices, stopping blah blah blah. Prevent new devices from being discovered. Music to my ears. So I would want to stop or disable that service, but it's not even listed. Bliss serve. So why would this work? Oh, exe. Oh, okay. No, well, it could be. Doesn't exist. And yet, this is here, and it says that maybe it exists, but maybe I got a rootkit. I could run that rootkit revealer thing. The what do you call it? The oh my god, is my phone answering? Gmer, which I have. I hope the people that do this sort of thing. Well, I guess I don't hope they're watching, because they're going to see what I'm doing, and then they're going to adapt their strategy to get around. But anyway, I've got a thing called Gmer, and it's in here somewhere. Look how slow this is. See that? Just to get a directory listing. What's it doing? Let's see. Why is it slow? Well, I got two of these going. That should slow things down a little. But this was the thing that I repaired by installing that other thing. The Windows Media Preview something. Come on! Anyway, go this way. Where is it now? It's okay, you had your chance. Where is it? It's got a weird name. In fact, when you go to download this Rootkit Gamer Revealer thing, you press a button and it gives you a file with a randomly generated name. There's viruses and whatnot. would know what the name is. Okay, so here it is. It's this one. I can't run that because it runs at everybody except me. Well, I guess I can't. It runs at the system level, and the last time it gave me that printout I showed you. This here Gmail report, which is not, there's not much help included with the program. What you're supposed to do, it says on the guy's webpage, is send the trace to him, email, and he'll get back to you. He never did. So this is saying that I've got in NT kernel PA, whatever that is, dispatch interrupt has been modified from what it should be to this. How does it know what it should be? By comparing the data in the file with the data in memory. And if there's a difference, a discrepancy, then that means that code has been overwritten. It may have been overwritten on purpose, even, but it might not be a rootkit. In this case, I'm pretty sure it is. It doesn't matter even if you've got address, even if that address randomization feature is on. If you know what the function is, then you know you know where to make the comparison. It might not be linearly laid out one after the other as it is in this exe file, but it has an export table, and then there's what you can do is you can just load get proc address, load library, get proc address, dump the bytes at the proc address, and then load the file and locate the address where the code is in the file, dump those out, make a comparison if they're different, and then that's a redirect. I'm not sure if it means that the code in this process I'm thinking of if you're looking, suppose you were looking at an image of a thread, running thread in memory, and looking at a stack trace, right? Then that always, those stack traces are always written this way for a given process. So it doesn't have to be Chrome is the victim here, right? Chrome is running and calling ntdll map view of section. And a 1 byte here has been changed at offset B from this function. Also at offset 6, 4 bytes will change. 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B is 5 bytes, so there's one more byte that didn't change. I don't know what it is. You could have just written it out. I would say if it's 6 to 9 and then B, 6 to B will have been changed. It would be easier to read. You could consider the middle byte as having been changed to what it previously was, and the whole section was changed. And look, they're all 6 to B, and they're all the same channel. No, they're not the same change. But the second change is always only 2, which is a loop. Oh no. Well, yeah, it's the beginning of a loop because of the loop command. That's consistent with this, which has a loop in it. Loop while not 0. In fact, it might be. What do I get? 11? A number? U, A, S, B, or B, S. That's implied by A, S. So I can't use root. Oh, I know. No, I forget. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is that all these things have been changed, and the worst of all, the system thread, which is what this thing is running under, has been hijacked. So you can't even be certain that what this thing is showing is it's true. It could be virtualized, and if you step yet another level backwards, all of this will be virtualized, and nothing is real. It's like I said before, the ultimate abstraction where nothing is real. Well, I'm gonna stop this, and what I'm gonna do is system restore and see what the situation looks like just like yesterday. Okay, back again, and the microphone's still working. Now, I got curious, and I found this when I was logged on as one more thing. I just wanted to point out that this is the event, the startup service or whatever that prevented the system from starting up. Okay. Now the date, this says data name equals param1, and param1 here is termdd. Now I'm assuming that means terminal something something. There are no other names in this thing here. There's that name. There's a event ID. This has to do with the event itself. Service control manager, grid, blah blah blah. Service control manager could not install this service. It's got to be a service, right? Term DD. Now I don't have my way around. I don't have my things running right now to run things not virtualized. Everything should be virtualized now. Not here. XML view, which I just started. What's in startup? Oh, it's not virtualized. Encode the encoder I'm running now. This one was already going. It's not virtualized. Okay, so this here is what's in startup. No, it's not in here. Not listed here. Review. That's it. Not much information there. Auto runs. I found a bunch of things I don't want. Like here are a couple you probably wouldn't want either. Screen capture filter. Preview object. Recording queue. So screen capture filter. Now this filter got added, I'm pretty sure just now, because I figured I'm gonna trash this situation anyway, so I tried running that FreeMake thing to try to observe what it does, but it can't do what it does currently. I'll do it again. I don't tune it. And I don't want this one. If I try running that remake installer, see now I know that I'm doing the right thing, because the thing that does bad stuff can't do anything. Why? Even if I was online, it says it failed because it's not online. But we'll see. First off, run DLL32. First, now we've gone to setup temp, which then turned into setup, which turned into setup temp, which is now turned into run DLL32, high priority. Some parameters, undecipherable. Now, open candy, blah blah blah. I don't want open candy. Now, this question says sending anonymous usage statistic and crash reports and so on to remake, but this says open candy. Alright, now open candy is not the FreeMake company. By clicking next, you agree to the terms and conditions of the end user license agreement, and then there's an open candy URL. Like this, I'll click on that. I don't know what that's going to do. Oh, Chrome, great. Well, that'll give me one of these things, an end user license agreement. This is another user license agreement. The question is, what is this checkbox for? FreeMake or for Open Candy? Well, I unclicked it. I clicked finish. Now, a bunch of and Chrome's. But here, oh dear, well, I gotta catch one of them. Here. Here. OC setup help DLL, blah blah blah. And the parameter is open candy. OC setup HLP DLL. So this is an app. Another Run DLL 32 is launching another host application, which is a setup host. Oh yeah, OC for Open Candy. Sorry, it's running a function in a DLL called OC setup help DLL with this parameter Open Candy something 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 or other. So now that's going to fail because I'm not online. Can't connect to the internet. Now this failed because it couldn't connect to the internet, but also where's it gone? I think we missed it. Let's try it again. Run DLL 32. Where's it gone? DLL host, process ID. Now this looks a lot like ComSys app. And where'd it go? Let's see it again. Where is it? Refresh. Okay. Yeah, it's ComSys app. This is the way to sneak in. I showed you before. Something that runs at a higher level of privilege than just an administrator. Local machine, it's a service. Services on sys app. Okay. Impersonate, debug, create a global privilege, which is all privileges. Change notify privilege. Doctor the history. Audit privilege. Okay. Again, doctoring these two together. First, I think that this change notify privilege allows you to turn on or off certain notifications. Audit privilege allows you to muck around with what's being audited, so that the history assign a primary token. Okay, that's what this thing gets. All you gotta do is create a ComSys app object, pass it in an identifier of your choosing. Okay, now I don't know if it doesn't matter. That's an internal number that can't be found in the registry. I'm sure you won't find it anywhere. It's something that only your program knows about. Okay, here it is here, but it doesn't have to, I mean, you can delete it afterward. Currently, there's nothing written here. Notification hope. Here, who knows? Here's one for Windows update. It uses the same mechanism. So teaching other people how to do that. Now these are supposed to be, okay, these are app IDs. So the ID being placed in here is the app ID. It's gone now. The app was launched here. Now just trying to check its security. Those are all the privileges requested, right? First name, create a global privilege. Now there were several others. So this is the groups, I guess, in the token. Now, is that my SID? Probably is. Is that my login session? Maybe. I had a program that would print that out. So for the 38 C6. No, that's not my E6. What's my SID? It should be 1,000. I end with 1,000. Clear screen. I thought this printed out my SID at some point. Okay. These are not me. These are defaults. Things, if I make a directory. Here's my SID. Login session SI. Nothing. I don't have an SI. Well, maybe this is virtualized. Which one is that? It's the title. Low standards down. Here. No? Where's virtualized? Oh. Not that one. This one. But NTBVM is virtualized. Where's the window type? It's confusing. I just saw it. That's the command line. Window type. That's right. Not virtualized. So apparently, I don't have an SID. I don't have a tool for that. Well, anyway, so it's in users. That would be, in theory, would be my SID. 3199 blah blah blah. And 248 ending of bound. Okay. So it's me, but me with super privileges. No, it's this account. Oh, that, I know that. That's not a real account. It's the last numbers are what they call it, local session ID. There is no such account. There never is. So if I agree to that, what happens next? Still me. Impersonate. But if you got this, you got everything. So I don't see what the point is of even having more. Net, yes, see? Net SH can't run. It's trying to go to do some net shell. I disable. It can go online, it can go on the internet, sure. But no command line stuff. That's disabled. And so this thing was prevented from doing damage to my system. And so therefore, okay, it's unfortunate. it might succeed if I'm online, but succeed or not, the damage that it would have done by running net shell didn't occur, wouldn't occur, cannot occur. But well, maybe it can now. But I have to fix this. The reason that failed is because I'm not online. But in order to get back onto my computer, I had to allow the system to repair the damage. And see, it's still fine, still working. The operating system fixed all this stuff for me. Help me out. I have a fast doing this now. Yes. I can do it faster, trust me.